Have you ever shared something personal and then later wished you could take it back? Maybe it felt harmless at the moment. You were just being honest, open, maybe even trying to build a connection. But somehow, that information didn't stay where you thought it would. Or worse, it changed how people saw you. The truth is, not everything about you is meant to be shared. And most people only realize this after it's too late. So here's what's really happening, and the 8 things you should never tell anyone. 1. Your biggest goals before they happen. At first, sharing your goals can feel motivating. You tell people what you're working toward, your plans, your dreams, the version of yourself you're trying to become. And in that moment, it feels good. You get encouragement, validation, maybe even a sense of progress before you've actually done anything yet. But here's the thing, talking about your goals too early can quietly weaken your drive. When you say things out loud, your brain starts to feel like you've already accomplished part of it. And on top of that, not everyone you tell will truly support you. Some people may doubt you, question you, or unintentionally plant seeds of hesitation. That's why it's often better to move in silence and let your results speak later. 2. Your income or financial situation. Money is one of those topics that seems simple until it isn't. You might casually mention how much you make, how well you're doing, or even how much you're struggling, thinking it's just normal conversation. But people don't hear financial information neutrally. They interpret it. If you earn more, it can create jealousy, comparison, or silent expectations. If you earn less, it can lead to judgment or people underestimating you. And this is where it gets interesting. Once people assign a value to you based on money, it can subtly change how they treat you. Keeping your financial situation private protects you from unnecessary assumptions and keeps your relationships more balanced and genuine. 3. Your deep insecurities. Everyone has insecurities. Things they overthink, parts of themselves they wish were different, or fears they don't usually say out loud. And sometimes, in the name of being open or vulnerable, you might feel the urge to share those with others. But not everyone knows how to handle that kind of honesty. The wrong person might use it against you later, even if they don't mean to. Or they might start seeing you through that lens, focusing more on your insecurity than everything else you bring to the table. Vulnerability is powerful, but it should be shared carefully with people who have truly earned your trust. Otherwise, what was meant to bring connection can quietly create imbalance. 4. Your next move. Have you ever noticed how plans feel solid until you start telling people about them? You explain what you're about to do, maybe a big decision, a career shift, or a personal change. And suddenly, everyone has an opinion. Some are supportive, but others bring doubt, questions, or concerns you hadn't even considered before. And without realizing it, your clarity starts to fade. Most people don't realize this, but constant external input can disrupt your internal direction. When you share your next move too early, you invite noise into something that needs focus. That doesn't mean you should never ask for advice, but it does mean you should be selective. Sometimes the strongest move is the quiet one, the one you make without needing approval first. 5. Your good deeds. Doing something kind for someone else feels good, and sometimes there's a natural urge to share it, maybe to inspire others or simply to express what happened. It can feel harmless, even positive, to talk about the ways you've helped people. But here's where it gets subtle. The moment you start announcing your good deeds, the focus shifts from the act itself to how it's being perceived. People may question your intentions or feel like the kindness comes with a need for recognition. And over time, it can take away from the authenticity of what you did. True impact doesn't need an audience. In many cases, the most powerful actions are the ones no one else ever hears about. 6. Your relationship problems. When something feels off in your relationship, it's tempting to talk about it. You might vent to friends, share frustrations, or look for validation that you're right. And in the moment, it feels like relief, like you're getting clarity by saying it out loud. But most people don't realize this. When you share problems, people often remember them more than the good parts. Even if things improve later, their perception might not catch up. They may start seeing your relationship through a negative lens or silently judging your partner based on one side of the story. That's why it's important to be selective. Not every issue needs an audience. Sometimes it needs privacy, understanding, and the right conversation with the right person. 7. Your past mistakes. Everyone has a past. Moments they regret, decisions they wish they handled differently, versions of themselves they've outgrown. And sometimes, sharing those mistakes can feel like honesty or even growth. And this is where it gets interesting. Not everyone sees your past the way you do. While you may have moved on, learned, and changed, some people will freeze that version of you in their mind. They may bring it up later, consciously or not, and use it to define who you are today. That doesn't mean you should hide your story, but it does mean you should be intentional about who gets access to it. Growth is real, but not everyone will recognize it unless they've seen the journey. 8. Everything you're thinking. It might sound like being real means saying everything on your mind. No filter, no holding back, just complete honesty all the time. And while that idea sounds freeing, it's not always wise. The truth is, not every thought deserves to be spoken. Some thoughts are temporary, emotional, or incomplete. If you share them too quickly, they can create misunderstandings, unnecessary tension, or even damage relationships that didn't need to be affected. Self-awareness isn't just about knowing what you feel. It's about knowing what to express, when to express it, and when to let it pass. Sometimes the strongest form of communication is restraint. At the end of the day, it's not about becoming secretive or distant. It's about being intentional. Not everything needs to be shared, and not everyone needs access to every part of you. The more you understand what to keep private, the more you protect your peace, your focus, and your relationships. Because the truth is, the strongest people aren't the ones who say everything. They're the ones who know exactly what to say, when to say it, and what to keep for themselves. If this made you think a little differently, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more insights like this. And if you've ever shared something you wish you hadn't, you're not alone.